stop! You don't want to pass this video about our excavation into the true past of Wonder Woman, because like a ball of yarn, we've unraveled mysteries that may shock you. You may have a laugh even, but you won't be misinformed. Slow down and take a minute to learn about some of the deception we've found in the blockbuster smash Wonder Woman. You can become a big part of the CBR family. It's so easy. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button below the video and you'll be right on board.
This thing is from another world. My world.
I've killed things from other worlds before.
She had a name change. Shakespeare famously wrote, "What's in a name?" Well, apparently during the creation of Wonder Woman, there was a bit of a discrepancy. Her original name was supposed to be Superma, the Wonder Woman. However, it was decided by DC Comics that Superma just sounded a bit too much like Superman, and the name had to be changed. Please welcome to the show, Diana Prince. You can imagine what it was like the first time she brought that nugget of information to the surface. Her first date probably didn't go over so well. After hearing that someone had to change their name is enough for someone to block you on their phone, the Wonder Woman part, of course, stayed the same. Most would agree it just isn't the best thing to find out about a person. That's why the superheroes have secret identities, boys and girls. It makes sense to change the name, we understand that, but we'd like some mention of it at least. Couldn't they have given her both names? It's really all harmless at the end of the day, but we can't help but feel it would have been cool to know that at one point she was known as Superma.
But I've known a few women like you.
Oh, I don't think you've ever known a woman like me.
True first appearance. 70 years is a long time. That's how long it took for the inspiring Wonder Woman to finally land herself on the big screen. We regret to inform you that you are sadly mistaken. You see, it really did take 70 years for her to make it to the big screen, but that 70-year drought ended in 2014, when the Lego movie came out. She even has her lasso with her and all. Technically, that 2014 is the icebreaker for the legend, but we know the creators of Wonder Woman wanted this to be the big splash. It certainly whispered around the office, "Hey, you know that Wonder Woman was in a film already? The Lego movie." Of course, nothing was probably said out loud. This film was so highly anticipated, but if you're a true fan of Wonder Woman, you would want to know that the reality is she truly made her debut in Hollywood as a piece of plastic. That's not a bad thing at all, and we feel that the Lego movie should not be forgotten in the celebration. For those of you who love ad-free viewing and free things, we're excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from CBR, The Gamer, Screen Rant, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. How sweet is that? Sign up for the Premium by clicking the link to start binge-watching videos from your favorite channels.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
How powerful Wonder Woman really is. It's clear to see that Wonder Woman is not the type of person you would want to mess with. Whether she's running like a gazelle over her enemies, brutally breaking the bones of her adversaries, or soaring through the air like a bullet shot from a German Luger, the fact of the matter is that anyone rational or even remotely sane would definitely want to stay on her good side. There are a couple of things left out of the story that was spun onto the silver screen, and they certainly shouldn't be taken lightly. One of the most interesting things about Wonder Woman is her tiara. Though in the 2017 film she never uses it as a weapon, it is one of her deadliest tools. In the earliest comic books, it's described as devastatingly sharp and even pierces the skin of Superman. We're not sure why DC never showed her utilizing her tiara in the film, but if you happen to see it fall off Wonder Woman's head, be careful picking it up. The list goes on, but we think the most unique tricks that set Wonder Woman apart from other superheroes would be her fire-breathing ability and her mental communication with soldiers and animals. Why were these things left out? We don't know, but rest assured, Wonder Woman is twice as powerful as people think she is.
The others like me. Why did you say they'll have to fight?
Just a feeling.
She has no remorse. Just about every superhero out there doesn't have the stomach to finish off a bad guy and send him up to the pearly gates. Watching the film, you would think that Wonder Woman would fall into the same category. When we watch Spider-Man or other superhero movies, there's a part of us that is unnerved when the hero has his nemesis right in his hands and lets him go. We want to see the enemy pay the price in some way, shape, or form, yet our superheroes have let us down. We rationalize it and understand where the superhero's coming from, but we cannot help but feel that frustration. Thankfully, Wonder Woman doesn't have time for never considering the act of eradicating her enemies to be a moral dilemma. She certainly has no issue taking out the supernatural, humans too. Look at Maxwell Lord, a character who has appeared earlier in the saga. He had Superman held in a trance in one strip. The comic book Amazon caught Maxwell abusing Superman and laced her lasso of truth around him. She asked him how he could be stopped, and Max answered honestly, saying that she should permanently erase him off the page, so to speak. Wonder Woman didn't think twice. Another unique truth that was kept away from the audience.
I don't even know how to sword fight.
Neither do they. In battle, they'd be slaughtered instantly.
She has an invisible plane. If you didn't notice, Wonder Woman cannot actually fly, so to speak. Yes, in older comic books she could, but the most recent installment of Wonder Woman never shows her doing it in the literal sense of the word. Flying on command like Superman is different. Wonder Woman only possesses the super speed and the super strength that allows her to jump to incredible heights and glide to where she needs to be. It's a good thing she has an invisible plane. Yeah, you heard right. Maybe we didn't see it in the movie because it was, well, invisible. In the comics, Wonder Woman was capable of flying, but she still had an invisible plane that she would use to travel to various destinations alongside other superheroes. We may be nitpicking here. Perhaps the director didn't want anyone knocking into the invisible plane during shooting. Maybe they didn't have enough money in their budget to get an actual invisible plane. Who would get into an invisible plane anyway? We're kidding. The idea would have been silly to try to induct into the plot of Wonder Woman, but don't the fans deserve at least an honorable mention for the classic vehicle?
Help me find the others like you.
Perhaps they don't want to be found.
They will. And they'll fight. We have to stand together.
Wonder Woman never had a sidekick. The title of this section immediately made you jerk your head back a bit, didn't it? It is true though. As a matter of fact, the character named Etta did make it into the Wonder Woman movie, but with a different role. Actress Lucy Davis played the former sidekick Etta Candy, but only as a secretary during the war. Her part isn't terribly big, but it was nice to see an old face from the original DC comics. We suppose DC really wanted to keep her in the storyline of the first major film because her debut was just as anomalous as Wonder Woman's. In the early days, creating Wonder Woman was definitely a risky turn in progressing DC's market, but Etta's character was even more unique. She wasn't beautiful or a princess or a goddess or anything like that. She was a larger woman who had great physical strength. We must commend DC for putting her in the comic. It isn't easy for larger-sized women to get major roles, especially superhero ones. Let's not forget, though, that her appearance in the first film could possibly be a teaser, in that she may appear as a sidekick in the sequel.
An angel.
Surrender. You cannot escape.
Oh, I don't know about that, Angel. I've made a hobby out of fleeing chasing women.
True feminist. Before you jump to conclusions, hear us out. What this momentous work of cinematic art did for women all over the world cannot be diminished by even a fraction. She was specifically created to be a role model and inspiration for women. Critics who have delved into the matter a bit deeper may have something else to say about this. Does Wonder Woman possess just about every quality of an independent, courageous woman? She has super strength, she doesn't have to listen to anybody, and she embarks on seemingly impossible missions without looking back. This really is an example for all children, especially in understanding gender equality, which was the creator of Wonder Woman's original intent. So what's the problem? Well, she does what all other mainstream actresses does in a production. She falls in love. She falls in love with a soldier. The trouble is that this soldier named Steve is literally the first male she ever meets in her life. First off, someone could say, how can that be? She barely knows the guy. That's a terrible example. Or they could even say, why does she need a man? She's clearly more powerful than any other man in the world. Even though this may be the case, everyone likes a little love in the mix of a movie. We can't blame DC for this plausible misconception.
Wonder Woman! Save me! Save me from them!
From whom?
Demons.
She's just a god killer. As you saw in the movie, Wonder Woman destroys the god of war, Ares, who even acted as her childhood mentor. After doing this, she's never called the goddess of war. Rather, in the movie, she, along with her sword, are referred to as the God Killer. This isn't right. Good thing we've dug up a nugget of information that tells us she was in fact dubbed the Goddess of War and is indeed a goddess. DC stretched its wings all the way into the Greek-Roman mythology for this one. For thousands and thousands of years, as we went through our grade 8 or grade 9, we learned about Zeus, Aphrodite, Ares, Hermes, etc. From that, we have all seen once a king, queen is taken down, usually usually it's the person that overcame the king-queen who takes their place of power. Even in our history books regarding feudal times, we read extremely similar situations. Perhaps DC wanted to lean away from the traditional mythological stories and focus in on the great story of Wonder Woman. Be that as it may, DC is pretty slick in never addressing her as the goddess of war, as she's known in earlier times, but as the god killer instead.
The wallet.
No, we're going to hold on to that. But there is something I want from you. An apology for contributing to my present disillusionment with men in general.
She has no weakness. All this time we've talked about how amazing Wonder Woman is. Curiously, in the film, there doesn't seem to be a kryptonite of some sort that would destroy her. Batman's afraid of bats and Daredevil's blind, but in this film, there's nothing that could possibly bring Wonder Woman to her knees. As usual, it may seem, Wonder Woman was constantly being tied down by the bad guys in earlier comic series. Many a time she's depicted in earlier strips as being captured and chained up to the wall or roped to the floor, but the key was tying her bracelets together. Whenever this happened, all her strength would be washed away. Though there were controversies surrounding the subject, and we can only guess that may be why DC didn't put it in the movie, although we were kept out of the secret to taking down Wonder Woman, we shouldn't be completely upset. After all, she did end up stopping the war and most likely saved the whole world. Thank goodness that the Nazi regime never thought to use rope as their weapon of choice. Wonder Woman was just one step ahead with her lasso of truth.
The time will come when your ancient prayer for a child, one not created through unholy union, will finally be answered.
Her true origin. A lot of superheroes start at an artist's house or the boardroom of a major comic book company. These are true artists. They create in their minds these fantasy characters that inspire us, and usually we end up finding ourselves holding them close to our heart. Sometimes, however, these characters come into fruition from other places or even people. It's completely understandable that some have suggested and or assumed that she was based off Roman myth. After all, her story has all the components of a Roman goddess. She's the daughter of Zeus and was born from clay. Reports that she was based off the wife of the creator, William Marston, have also been asserted. That's just as conceivable, we would argue. Wonder Woman was created in the image and likeness of Margaret Sanger. Margaret was a leader in women's rights and a feminist, no matter how you slice it. Next time you think about Wonder Woman, just don't forget about her true origin in Margaret Sanger.
How do you expect to defeat Zeus if you can't even beat a girl?
Want to keep up with Hollywood secrets? Want to be kept informed about what's happening behind the scenes? Just subscribe to our channel and never be left in the dark again. Check out more videos on our playlist. We've got plenty. Let your thoughts and opinions be heard in the comment section. We're ready to listen. Thanks for watching.